What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. Joined by Lou and T here. Lou's headlines make me laugh. I think he's had enough of Glasner. We'll talk about all of that. People are frustrated over the past 24 hours.
Okay,
but there's a lot of.
Could you please change it? This is false advertisement.
I'm gonna change it.
I've been duped.
I'm gonna change it. You can't keep changing your mind like that, though. I mean, I'll change it. I mean, you change it yourself, but I'll change it again for you. But as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm laughing because trust me, there's gonna be no laughs for the rest of the stream. So I thought let's have a laugh before the stream actually starts. As you can see, Chadi Riad, a potential ACL injury. There's a check Doucoure update as well as an update on Malik Diouf, and it's not a positive one. And another left wing back we could potentially, left back maybe, depending on how you look at it, that we've been linked with that we could potentially sign before deadline day. So make sure to get involved throughout the show, people. And yeah, as I said, we'll start off with you, Lou, because you're a massive fan of Glasner, but I guess yesterday was the tipping point for you.
Oh man, let's have some parliamentary process here. Yeah?
You got access to it as well, no?
I don't know. Listen, I'm an old man. I don't know how to edit this.
You're old. Let me edit it for you. But look,
don't make it worse.
He said, "Don't make it worse."
Roy in.
Well, that's a great idea for the next stream. But how you feeling, man?
Well, this is the second bit of content I've had to do after this loss. The player ratings of Patrick was tough.
Yeah,
breaking down how bad we were yesterday. I said there's a lot of good things going on with the club, but yesterday showed everything bad going. Not everything that's wrong with the club was highlighted yesterday, from squad depth to. Listen, there was looked like there was no atmosphere in the ground. And then it's been compelled even more with two major blows with injuries.
Not only just that, the transfer update's not positive either, and we've got like a week left. How you been, T?
Man, hanging in there. Gosh, so much to say. So much to say that I know we'll get to within the course of this show, man. But I feel like, we just got to do better overall, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, right now it feels like same old Palace. That's what it feels like starting the stream. And it will be good to hear both sides as well. I know some people are happy with the current situation. Some people are devastated. I mean, it's not the end of the world right now. I mean, we're sitting 12. I know we lost against Brentford, but I think the frustration lies more with transfers, especially with what Glasner said. And let's start off with that. There was an update today on Al-Haji Malik Diouf, which we've been linked with pretty much all of January transfer window. As you guys already know, we had a bid rejected of around £12.5 million a few weeks ago. However, there's another update, another rejection. And this time, this is coming from Ryan Taylor Sport, that Palace have had a bid of around £14.3 million bid rejected by his club. And here we are. Another rejection. The second bid has been rejected. There's more to the story as well, which I'll say, which doesn't directly link to Palace. But gents, week left of the window. Second bid that we've made is less than £2 million of an improvement. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know the finances of Palace, but with a week left of the window, I'll start off with you, Lou. You look over the moon right now. What's your thoughts?
Just pay the money, man. But do you know what? Just pay the money. I don't even just pay the money.
What was you going to say before your mind changed?
I do understand that he's 19 years old and do you know what I mean? He's 19 years old. He's never played in the Prem, so you don't want to overpay. But at this point, you're only overpaying for players because you didn't spend in the summer. So deal with it. Like this is you're rectifying your own bad decisions. And I'm sick of it. I saw my manager looking like he was crying in the rain. Like he looked like an R&B video. I was stressing.
He did.
He just like he lost the love of his life. But
Yeah,
he
man.
and Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly. But look, T, another rejection, and we spoke about it in our chat earlier on today. And I'll be honest, I feel like Lou here because I understand why club lowball at times. Like it makes sense. Why would you want to spend 17 million pound on a player if you know that you could get them for potentially 15 million pounds or 16 million pounds? £1 million is £1 million. It doesn't sound like a lot when we're talking football terms, but if you take a step back, I would love £1 million right now. But of course, the finances of the club involved is different. But I think the context matters here. Is a second bid rejected? There's a week left. And the most important thing out of this is that Glazer said that he wanted signings early. He wasn't happy with the summer window. We're approaching a week left. And I'll be honest, I don't know about you, but even if we do sign him at this point, I can't say like I've been pleased with this window. I'll be like, I just can't because of what the manager demanded and what we're giving him at this point. Because like £2 million, not even £2 million improvement of a bid, less than £2 million improvement.
Less than 2 million.
And we're talking about this player basically the whole of the transfer window. And even before the transfer window actually started, it just doesn't look serious. It doesn't look like we're taking this as seriously as we should. Or am I saying it wrong? Am I seeing it wrong?
No, I think it's two things that really stand out, at least to me personally. And I'm sure to a lot of other people with this. First and foremost, like you said, only accelerating the bid by less than £2 million. I think it's like maybe 1.8 million is a complete slap in the face. Like, especially number one, because of what their evaluation is. Their valuation is said to be more around like 18 million pounds, 20 million euros. We bid 12 to begin with. So we know where their valuation is. We know where our original bid is. If we're really trying to get this deal done and make it work, accelerating by less than 2 million is an absolute, like, it's unacceptable, bro. It's a slap in the face. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like if I'm Slavia Prague, I might want to walk away completely. That's absolutely absurd. From a negotiations standpoint. You know what I mean? If you really want that, want it done, come up and maybe come almost halfway to their evaluation, at least. But I think number one, that's a slap in the face. And not only is it that, it makes this process even more drawn out, which is the reason why we're in the situation that we're in right now. Because had we done what we needed to do earlier in the window, like Glasner was asserting from the very beginning,
or in the summer,
or the summer. But if we're speaking just with this window, if we had made the two moves that he talked about, bringing in the two players that we needed and done that early doors, we would have the wingback situation handled. We would have the right side of the attacker situation handled, and now we will be in a situation where we're looking to move quickly to hopefully get cover either at center back or possibly at central midfield. So now we're in a situation where we've got A covered, but we didn't do B, and now we got C and D to handle. And we've only got a limited amount of days. Had we done what we need to do early in the window, A and B will be covered. And now we will be in this situation of the window where we're later in the window. It's like, hey, now we got these kind of emergency situations that have popped up for us because of injuries that we need to handle now, that we can conceivably get something done on the emergency side, not on the initial business side. The initial business side hasn't even been handled yet because we haven't found that left wing back target. So really what it is, it's once again, it's a miscarriage by your front office because this business should be done.
Let me show you this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
This is a good thing. Now that I've changed laptops, I can actually show stuff on the screen without my laptop exploding. But the article that I'm referring to from Ryan Taylor Sport, the actual Prague, I think he's a sporting director. I need to double check that. He actually spoke to the Czech media and he said that Liverpool and Chelsea, who were also interested in him, had come with an offer of around 17 to 18 million euros. I would have hesitated to approach it differently from the perspective of promoting the club or the player's interest. Well, I guess the question that I asked, you can see my tweet there. They must be asking a higher price from Palace. That's my guess, because 80 million euros converted to pounds is 50 million pounds. There's no way we are haggling 700,000 pounds. Like, no way.
No, but we also did it. We also came in at 12.5 to begin with. So we came in. So from what he was saying, it's like, yo, y'all 3 million under what we would even start the conversation with.
But it must be, Lou. How much do you reckon they're asking then? Like, if they're asking maybe 17 to 18 million pounds from Chelsea and Liverpool and asking higher from Palace, I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, what, 20 million euros? So that would be around 16 million pounds. Now, we're not that far off the valuation. Go on.
Liverpool and Chelsea aren't interested. Neither are Brighton. Brighton have 2 left backs. They just spent £25 million on one. Lamberty can play left back. Veltman can play left back. Solly March can play left back. So it's all paper talk, all that stuff. Plus, I don't even think these journalists actually know what's going on. They just throw figures around and hope something lands. To me, they have a valuation. No one doesn't really want to pay it. Either we pay it and we move on, or we don't. I'm sick of all of it, really. Just have a move on to another target. There's like millions of left wing backs out there. It's like they got one database with about 10 players on it, and they can't find anyone else. T finds more players than all these guys.
And that's not even.
And it's not even. And to say that, Lewis, like, this isn't even our job. It's not what we do full time. You have a dedicated department to this at a professional organization. Like, that's the thing that bothers me too. It's like you have an entire department that's dedicated to this work, and yet here we are wanting and needing the business to be conducted in a better manner, and it's not.
My problem is, I mean, there's another player that we're going to talk about as well, is that Glasner spoke about it after the SA deal. He spoke about it beforehand. He spoke about it after the summer. Like, he's mentioned it so many times publicly, and you don't come out publicly and mention it that many times if it doesn't cover you. He said he wanted players in early. I understand the January window is not easy. Was the summer window easy? I don't know what window is easy. You just have to go out there and get the job done.
Yes, the job is not easy. It like, negotiations aren't easy, but if you can do it effectively. I mean, yes, we don't have the money that Man City does, but they've gotten like 6 guys already in this window. Like, you can get the work done.
Yeah, and now we've got a week left.
Sorry, this comment here about Diouf mentioning Liverpool. It was an interview where journalists asked them. Like,
the journalist brought that up.
The journalist brought it up. He didn't bring it up. Listen, Diouf is not going to Liverpool. Like, they are in a different stratosphere. We don't shop in the same markets. They are at Waitrose. We are at Audi. It's different. It's different things.
And Diouf made the point of, if I go to, like, he basically said, hey, I'm not going to play at Liverpool. I need to be playing right now. So he was saying that he made the point that it doesn't make sense for them to come for me because I'm not going to be playing there and I need to be playing.
But Slavia are in no rush. Like, they're out. They got another game in the Europa League. They're out. They're 7 points clear in their league. They can probably win a league without him. Why would they bend for us? And it's like, I understand Glasner coming out and saying he needs players early. But really and truly, the more you say you need players, the more you lose in the negotiation side. Because everyone knows you need players. Well, Riad's had an ACL now. Everyone knows we need a centre-back.
Exactly. Well,
same with Arsenal with a striker. Same with Chelsea with a striker. Same with Spurs with needing depth. Anytime this happens, that you lose negotiations stance. But
then what you do is, you lose negotiation stance. That's happened now. Like, it's happened. So what you do is that you can't do what you normally do in terms of lowballing offers. Especially, like, forget about the negotiation stance. This manager, and I keep saying this because my biggest concern is Glasner once again. If you want Glasner to sign an extension, you have to show ambition. And some people may say, why is he causing a fuss? Why does he want players in early? Every manager would want players in early. Yes, I understand that, but this is, on paper, our most successful manager that we've had since getting promoted to the Premier League.
I am a big Glasner fan, but there is a whole thing in football of pandering to temporary managers, because you could bring in exactly what Glasner needs, and then Bayern Munich come and take him in a few.
So what do we do then?
It's about finding a balance. It's about finding a balance. If they backed him in the summer, you have to try and make him happy, but not at the expense of the club completely at the same time. There has to be balance. There's an imbalance now on one side, as in like they haven't invested. No, I'm saying they haven't invested, hence why now they're scrambling. But like it still has to be sustainable. Like, what happens if you go and pay 20 million and he ain't that good? Then what?
I get that. But if you're bidding like less than, if you're doing 12.5 million and a 14,
those figures could be made up. Those figures could be made up.
Yeah, you're right. It could be made up. But then the problem that I'm mostly concerned about is that we didn't do what he wanted to do in the summer. What he wanted, Glasner, what he spoke about in the summer. We didn't do, and now we're here in January doing the same thing. So if I know Glasner could leave at any point technically, but he could have left for Bayern Munich, by the way, in the summer.
How many managers in Europe let's say the top leagues are completely happy with their board?
I don't know. That's hard to say. There are some that
let's just go Premier League.
There'll be some that's upset.
Just go Premier League. Who's happy with their board?
I don't know. City are, I guess. Pep. Why would he not be happy? He just literally signed players as well. And Pep has.
Prior to that, he may not have been though.
No, Newcastle. They scream for new players. Chelsea.
I know.
The point that Lou's making that really makes sense is the fact that it's always an ongoing thing. Like naturally, nobody's ever going to be 100% happy. Just like any relationship in life, whether it's with your spouse, with your best friends, with the people that you work for, it's never going to be 100% the way that you want it to be.
It is, but we're taking the piss. It's not even about happiness. I feel like we're taking the piss at this point because we should have signed a left wing back.
No, yeah, I know. I fully agree. I just think
it's not about this window. Of course, you want to sign players in early. We're not even talking about players in early. We didn't even sign a left wing back in the summer. That's where the problem lies. And he wanted players in early. We didn't do anything. So that's where the complaint lies. And now we're here with 7 days left, and we're talking about bids still getting rejected, which is fine. Maybe it's not true. Maybe it is true. But like, we need to get this deal done. We should have got it done in the summer. So I understand why Glazer would complain. Yes, all managers would want it their way, and there's the business way, and there's the manager's way. Like, it's not FIFA. I get it. It's not like a straight path in terms of we want that player, we go get that player. But there comes a point where it's like,
well, the point is,
we always have excuses though. We always have excuses. At what point do we drop the excuses?
Okay, on the 3rd of February. Also, Henry, literally every manager calls out their board all the time, or they will give some sort. They will give an indirect response where you know that they're not happy with the board. Like Ange has been talking about Levy. They might not outright and say, my board's terrible, but they will say certain comments that make you know that they are not happy with a lack of incomings or a lack of transfer funds being available.
Yeah, coded language, indirect comments, things like that. Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
Definitely you pick up on those things. But I mean,
Glasner's a very straight talking Austrian. Like, he says it how it is. He can't sugarcoat it. So sometimes people take what he's saying like for like him saying he wants players early in the transfer window doesn't mean he's saying if I don't get them by the 1st of January, I'm walking. He's just,
he has walked,
that's how he speaks.
He has left. He left Frankfurt, and
but they sold all their best players.
I know, but okay, we don't. It's not about selling our best players. It could be a situation where we're not bringing in the players as well. Like, you can make the same case. Like, we're not backing him properly. He left because they saw some of their best players. I don't know if they replace them or not, but then you could make the same argument here. We're not bringing in the players that he wants. And this is a manager that's walked away before. And my problem is, we can talk about Glazer being linked to other big clubs, and he could, even if we bring in the players, he could end up leaving. But you want to make sure that you do everything you can to make this manager happy. Just like Bournemouth with Areola. Look at them. They've done what they can. They've backed him in the window. They've been patient with him. And he is happy now. And that's why, that's why they are doing so well, despite having 10 injuries. Because, they've managed to get the business done. And we're still here talking about, are we going to sign a left wing back? When are we going to sign it? There's a week left. I'm tired of talking about left wing back. I think it's on here talking about news at this point.
I agree with you. I'm just trying to give. There's so much.
It's been 5 years.
But there's so much negativity, and I'm trying to give.
Trying to get some.
I've tried to do that as well.
I'm not trying to back Parish. I'm literally just trying to give the other side of it and trying to make people detach so much from the emotion. Everyone wants a left wing back. I want the same things as everyone else does. But I'm saying I get like Animal says, the match day, I'm emotional, I'm involved with it. But then sometimes after a day or so, and you can't get so involved with it because it will just make you so frustrated.
I get it. I get the perspective that you're bringing, and I've tried to stay on that path as well. I try to be as patient as possible, but there comes a time where you just have to kind of call it out. That's where I'm at right now. You have to call it out.
But at the same time, that's what makes all these people that are watching right now, this almost 150 people, that's what makes them tune in, because we're trying to take this in and look at it and analyze it from all these different perspectives. The perspective of the fan, the perspective of the front office, the perspective of players. Like, that's what makes this show so great. So kudos to you guys and to what we do here. You know what I'm saying? But I fully understand where you're coming from, because of the fact that at this point, they should have come into the window, like in talking about rewinding all the way back to the summer. And in the summertime, I'm sure we should have had a list of people that we're looking at trying to do. Nothing happens. Boom. We should have a full list of players, targets, everything that we should have lined up going into this window, to where some negotiation not work out. Boom. Move on to the next one. Get the work done. Like, I understand where that frustration comes from, because if you really come into the window prepared, then we should have had something done by now. Is really what it should be. You know what I mean? Which is super frustrating.
What Steve has said is I think that this is what frustrates me a lot as well, because we could talk about the summer, we could talk about this window, but Tyreek Mitchell, and I've got onto him as well, he hasn't been able to have competition. We haven't given him proper opportunities to rest. Because when it comes to even a right back position, it took us years to replace Wan-Bissaka. And the last time Mitchell had actual left back competition, forget about left wing back, was Van Aanholt. He's even playing football at this point. I don't even know. It's been that long. And that's the frustrating thing about it. And now we're here. Once again, we didn't solve this in the summer. There's 7 days left. And that is the reason why I'm saying here as well on stream, that even if you sign Diouf at this point, based on what Glazer said after we signed SA, I'm not going to say, oh, well done. This is great, man. We finally got it.
No, we're still behind.
Wait. No, I wasn't. But let's take it back. At no point am I congratulating the board for signing a left wing back. I'm not in that category. I'm saying it should have been done. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, like, I see people commenting saying, when are you going to call out the board, this and that? They're like, okay, you're going to call out the board on Twitter. What's that going to do?
I mean, the board's been called out multiple times by our manager. They've been
it's been called out by the fan base as well. Don't forget, it wasn't that long ago when the banners were out at the Arsenal away game.
But let me just take you back to 1 week ago, West Ham, Monday, yeah? Signed SA, another 2-0 win at West Ham. People weren't this angry. They were not.
Because it's been an underlying thing. That's look.
Yeah, but you can't be so up and down when one bad thing happens. You can't then pile on it.
It's not one bad thing though. It's not one bad thing. The reason why a lot of people are unhappy with the current situation is because they're saying this happens every single time. It's not just this window that we take forever to bring in the players. And the reason why people are upset, because people have been sitting patiently. They've been sitting patiently. They've been waiting for the signings to happen. And they've looked at Glazer's comments. And after one bad result happens, people are like, like, this is it. Like, we have to sign players. It's been there. I don't think anyone's kind of said, oh, we don't need to sign players because we beat West Ham or we got a result against Leicester. People, of course, why would someone complain about signings after you get a win and you sign a player, literally? But it's been there. We've been talking about left wing back for so long. I told you this. I wasn't expecting. First of all, two things have shocked me in this window. One, the lack of Palace news. It shocked me because there's not been that much news. And two, the fact that we're still talking about if we're going to sign a player at this point. I thought at this point we would be done. Final week of the window. Like 1 week left.
That's what you thought.
Talking about news. But that's what it should have been based on what Glazer said back in December, October, November. for months.
but I understand what you're saying.
About transfers at this point.
Okay, but I understand what you're saying. But every club. What about Arsenal fans? What about Tottenham fans?
I get, but I don't care about Arsenal or Tottenham.
But that's it's relevant. Every football fan wants their team to sign the players they want, do it in the right time. It doesn't happen. That's not how life works.
Get them on the pitch.
Yeah,
play the first game.
Pardon? It's not how life works. That's what I mean.
I want.
So Bournemouth Bournemouth got that's Bournemouth.
They're similar level to us. We're comparing Arsenal and Tottenham. What about Bournemouth?
Okay, but I'm saying
that comparison is something to talk about. That's something to talk about because this is the thing that gets me. Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, for instance. These are all clubs that are now pushed in well into the top 10, have been promoted and relegated since we've been in the Premier League this entire time. And now they're heads and tails above us. That is what bothers me. That bothers me a lot.
And you know what's a big
but it bothers me. Like, listen, I've been going for how long? I've been going 26 years, home and away, all over the country, from Championship to Premier League. I want what everyone else wants, but sometimes football isn't a fairy tale. Like, other teams do better. Other teams have better luck. Other teams win trophies. We don't. Like, I want what everyone wants. I want us to sign simple things like a backup left wing back. We're not asking for much. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're asking for much.
I get what you mean by sometimes, but it feels like all the time. That's the problem. That's the issue. We're not talking about this window and last summer we actually started strong, signing 2 players. Like, that was like, what's going on with Palace? But then what happens? Same old. We leave it till deadline day and bring in everyone. And Glasner's explained it. Some people agree, some people disagree. But I understand fully where it's coming from in terms of the slow start, in terms of pre-season and injuries and everything piling up together because we brought in signings late. But we're doing the same thing again. Like, that is the issue. We're doing the same thing again. SA, who was signed halfway through the window, Glasner was still like, I don't know, like, we could have done it a bit earlier. And when we're not talking about signing right now, we're talking about a bid getting rejected again. And that's the thing. If it's sometimes people will realize, look, we can't always, get our way. Sometimes it will drag on. But it does feel like, even going into this window, can you say you would be surprised if Palace didn't sign a left wing back till this point? I won't be surprised. Like, it shouldn't have happened, but I'm not surprised because it's kind of what's been happening. So
okay, we'll take Brighton for an example. What did they do this summer? How much did they spend?
Over like £200 million.
So I mean, it doesn't always it's hard. It's hard to get it right. So I understand.
But then he was the most active on deadline day. I'd be shocked if he wasn't Palace.
Yeah, but we'd already wrapped a couple of them up. Like, everyone says, it's like,
yeah, but it's towards the end of the window. That's the thing. Brighton, they signed their players, and I don't like talking about Brighton, but they signed their players in the summer,
and that's crap.
What is about.
They're crap. They're in a false position. Yeah, but they was above us the whole of last season, and look where we ended up.
Well, I don't know. That's what the manager wants. If the manager wants that, then that's what I want as well.
I
have faith in this manager. If I didn't have faith in this manager, then I would say fair enough. Like, I'll listen to the club. But it's yeah. Well, look,
I've been Glasner's biggest advocate from the start, and I already said when he's got a problem, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
So I'll wait until the 3rd of February. If there's no one through the door, or there's a lack of quality that we've brought in, then yeah, there's something to moan about. But at the same time, I'm still going to end up turning up to these games. I'm still going to pay my money to watch. So I understand the frustration, but I'm saying shouting about it and getting really angry and people getting emotional and saying parish out and this and that, like, just
look at the squad.
It's not going to work.
Look at the squad there.
I get it though. I get it.
And compare it to the rest of the Premier League. I think Arsenal have like really bad depth. But when you compare it to even likes of Brighton, for example, I don't care how bad they're doing. That could fall down on the manager or whatever. But the depth of Palace and some of the players that we still have on the bench, likes of Klein and Schlupp, like, how many teams really employ those kinds of players in the Premier League and have had them on the bench throughout the season? And that's where the anger really comes from. Like, the squad depth ain't there. It hasn't been there. And we'll see. We'll see if the left wing back position actually happens. But let's move on to the next player, and that was on Ben Chilwell. So we've got another name that's been mentioned. I guess this
Where was this reported? I haven't seen it.
This is reported by the Mail Sport.
Who wrote it?
I'll try to find it for you. Yeah. I'll try to find it for you. But let me read this out. Is that West Ham, Palace, Everton, and possibly Manchester United are among those watching Ben Chilwell, who's eyeing a late loan exit. First of all, let's just talk about the player in itself. Chilwell at Chelsea, he's not really favoured. Well, he's not
injury prone.
But can you see something like this happening?
We should have blocked Chelsea's number. He's got high.
I say, that's it's not even about Ben Chilwell anymore for me.
He's on high wages. He hasn't played. He's not match fit. He's on about 250 grand a week, and he plays for that scum team Chelsea.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's really about. Like, I care nothing about Ben Chilwell. I want no more business with Chelsea. That's really what it is for me.
Yeah. Also. Yeah, we shouldn't. We literally shouldn't do any business with Chelsea after what happened. I know they can't recall him, but like, no, I'm done. I'm done with Chelsea.
Once again, and we'll probably end up loaning him, and we'll probably end up not getting a buy clause or a buy option. And then what'll happen is, with not having those options, he'll probably come in, play pretty well for us. They take him back. They either put him back into the mix or they sell him for way more than what he's worth. No,
yeah. That's what they do. That's what all they do. We know we've been there before.
I see someone. The Animal said Tierney to Chilwell, even though Tierney's going to Celtic. You know why Munoz was a good signing? Because of his injury record. He doesn't get injured.
Doesn't get hurt.
We should not be signing injury-prone players.
That's another thing that Palace need to stop signing players with checkered injury pass. We used to do it all the time. I think it's because of the fact that we were looking to get a bargain deal on a talented player and hope that he can turn it around and not get hurt all the time. I think we need to stop doing that personally, because it's just it's not worth it in the long run.
We don't really sign that many injury-prone players. Well, recently, anyways. Before we did, I agree. Like the likes of Saka.
Yeah, before I think most recently we haven't gotten too many that were like that.
I think there needs to be an inquest into. I think we need to get into an inquest of buying any medical staff.
Do we not get any medical staff? We did though. The physio.
Our doctor went to Arsenal, and we
we've gotten a new since then. But what he's saying is that maybe this new one isn't it.
Well, the Arsenal one wasn't really it either. To be fair, I remember having like really bad injuries then as well.
Yeah, we had. we've had really bad injuries then too.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if they will make that change. I guess
we thrive best in a championship and European market. Yeah, that's where you get bargains. That's where you get proven players. Go and just do your scouting properly. Like, it can't be hard to go and see who plays 3-4-2-1. Go see who plays that formation. Go see who has a good output in the areas that you need, in ball carries, in crosses, in finishes, in chance creation. It's not hard. It's a flipping little algorithm.
And we need to be buying more players from European league, smaller European leagues, like the Slavia Pragues of the world. Like you should be buying from those clubs. Nordsjælland. We should be getting those guys that you can.
Furthermore, where are they getting there? When are they getting Diouf? Why aren't we in those places? Same way that Man United pay 86 million, 70 million euros for Højlund. PSG pays 90 million for Kolo Muani. Tottenham pays 60 million for Solanke, but the transfer before, they was going for frees, 12 million euros, 10 million euros. Like, you have to be creative, like, and you got to have good.
In terms of creativity, we have been like the deals that we've
done. It's hit and miss. It's hit and miss.
I would say it's more hit than miss. Like in terms of the fans that we've signed, but like that's the thing. Like when we do business, it's normally good business because we get them on decent price tags. But at some point, you might need to pay over the odds by a few £1 million to try and make the manager happy, especially if you want to keep this manager whose contract expires at the end of next season, and we haven't got that much time. And we've got 4 windows left till Glasgow's contract officially expires. and he's come out publicly and spoke so many times. So for us, we don't have the privileges of kind of, playing the low ball. Sometimes, especially, how lucky we are that Mitchell doesn't get injured, by the way. Do you know how lucky we are?
It probably would be better if he did get injured because they would sign someone.
That's it, and that's the only way it would happen. Like, I think Henry said something in the comments about that. It's like the only way we're going to get a new left wing back is if Mitchell was to get hurt today.
Mitchell, yeah.
But that's a wrong mentality, though. That's
the
mentality.
That's what Henry's saying. That's not.
No, Henry was saying like that's how we operate, though. That like that for us to make sure that we got one in this window, we would need to lose the one that we already have.
I think that they're seeing this. This is the last week because we got Doncaster in the cup after Man United.
Mm-hmm.
There's no new signings going to come in and start against Man United. So whoever they bring in gets 2 weeks training with Glasner toward the next Premier League game. So I don't. There might be agreement. Okay, I wanted them in early, but just get them in before the end of the deadline. Then you have 2 weeks until Everton at home.
The deadline is on Monday. We play Man United on Sunday. SA, when he joined us, he was in the squad after a few days. We've had the whole window. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We've got.
I understand that, but I'm saying we don't know what conversations they're having behind closed doors.
I know.
It's only assumptions. It's only assumptions.
I know. But what I'm saying is that it's still not good enough based on what
if we get a left wing back and a centre back before the deadline, it's a very successful window. I don't care what people say about we should have got it done earlier. We was unbeaten for 6 games. No one's going to come in and start against Man United. They're already prepping for that. So if we get 2 players in, a centre back, we get a centre back and a left wing back before the end of the window. It's a successful window.
I don't know.
It could be better, but it's a successful window.
I'm not going to give it.
If we're being honest, Riad, Riad got an ACL, but Riad weren't playing. He played one game.
Let's talk about Riad. So for those that don't know, according to Sammy Mockbell, Chadi Riad suffered an ACL injury, and it looks like Palace will now enter the market for a new centre back before the transfer window closes.
What's Mascara doing?
What's that?
What's Mascara doing, T? Is he playing? Is he injured?
No, he's playing, man.
Did he start on the weekend?
I did not.
Well, I looked up and I didn't see him that he was starting.
The problem with Mosquera is the bigger clubs are on to him now.
The thing
is, they said he was, and they're at the bottom though. That like they need the money.
Yeah, and I mean they've always they needed the money way before the season even started. So
what's Rob Holding doing? That's my question.
Watching the
hanging out with teenagers.
Watching whoa.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how else you want to say it.
I know what you mean. Hanging out with the under 21 squad, you are his teammates.
Hanging out with teammates. I don't know how else you want to say it.
Barcelona beat them 7-1 on the weekend, and he didn't play.
Yeah,
that makes me wonder if he's gonna go somewhere if he headed out.
But all jokes aside, though, going back to Chilwell and linking this story about us getting another centre back, do you think it does make sense for us to go in the loan market for a left wing back potentially and then sign a centre back on a permanent deal? I don't know which centre backs we can sign on a loan deal right now, and Chilwell makes sense in that regard. I'm not saying that that's what I want to happen, but can you see a situation like that happening if we're serious about centre back? Because I can't see us spending £50 million on a left wing back, £50 million on SA, and £50 million or £20 million on a centre back in this window.
I could see us. I think ultimately it comes down to which is the most cost effective move.
Probably end up with Reguilon from Spurs.
I mean, whatever you can do that is going to cost you the least amount of money outgoing. So if you can swing a left wing back for only like 12 million and then loan a center back, great. But if that left wing back is going to cost you upwards of 16, 17, 18 million, maybe they then loan that position and then buy a center back that they can get for 12, 13 million. Whatever is going to be the most cost effective thing at this point, I can see them happening just because they need to maximize the amount of moves they can make while minimizing the amount of money that's outgoing on said moves. So with that, I gotta hit it, guys. I appreciate y'all. But
we're gonna wrap up in a few minutes as well. But I appreciate you coming on.
Peace.
Lee, what was you gonna say?
I said, just give me Wharton.
1 minute. Wharton.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have 100% helped us against Brentford. But in terms of centre backs, Riad hasn't played for us so far this season. But I guess it's like we can still use. I don't know. I hate this because yes, technically you can play there, but we can still use Klein and Lerma. But it's like, why are we relying on like right wing backs and like centre midfielders as centre backs in our God knows how many years now we've been in the Premier League?
Please, no Klein. Please, no Klein.
Yeah,
I can't.
But then we got no other options right now. If someone else gets injured,
put me in.
Yeah, we got no other option, and that's a problem though. And that's why, like, when it comes to the left wing back position, you never know. We might actually go for a loan move now, which messes things up. But
animal, you get blocked for these.
Don't forget Schlapp. Yeah, he's in the squad. But yeah, check Doucoure. It's also there's also an update on him, and it seems like he could be facing a long spell on the sidelines with a knee issue, according to Sammy Mockbell once again. So it seems like Cheick Doucoure won't be with Palace anytime soon. Add salt to the wound. I mean, today's been a great day for news, by the way. Like, this is like it's getting better and better by each news. But Doucoure, he hasn't been playing as much, so I guess he won't be missing that regards because Glass hasn't used him. But I'm very disappointed because I thought this season Doucoure and Wharton, those will be the two. But it seems like maybe we don't even see them two together, at all this season. Are you worried about Doucoure's injury record?
Yeah, it just feels like, I know what you mean, dude. It just feels like we can't have anything nice. Like we can't enjoy anything nice for a longer period of time. But yeah, Doucoure gone. I guess we got to watch Lerma spam balls first time off the pitch.
Or Kamada can play that as well. But Wharton needs to come back though. We can't have another setback with Wharton. We really can't because we're thin now. Doucoure was still an option despite him not playing off the bench. For example, you saw in the Leicester game, he came off for Lerma. It was an option, but now we don't even have that. We don't even have that as an option. But yeah, look, I don't know if we sign another central midfielder. I don't think we do. I don't think we should, to be fair. Because I don't think we got a budget. Left wing back should be priority, but centre back could be on the cards as well, people. So
I think Lamina would be good because he can play centre mid and centre back.
But it's like I'm thinking about us. We're talking about increasing our bid, as I said. According to reports, we don't know if it's 100% true, but less than £2 million, and we're approaching the end of the window. It just showing me signs that I don't think we've got money like that. Like I don't think we can sign a centre back, a left wing back, and a central midfielder in this window if we're haggling over God knows like a few £1 million, which they want Slavia for Diouf. So for me, it's not really realistic right now.
We'll see.
Not realistic. Anyways, let's wrap up, people. But before we do, if you haven't already done so, even if you're watching replay, please hit the like button and subscribe if you have enjoyed the content. It helps us out massively. And also make sure to check out the player ratings, which is out. Great job from Lou and Patrick, talking about the individual performances and what went wrong. Chan is saying it's like Palace have been saving up the disappointing news and decided to release it all at once. But I guess that's Palace for you. But a week left, and I was thinking what we're going to do for deadline day this year, but we might actually be waiting for players on deadline day at this point. So let's see with the way that things are going.
Deadline day stream, yeah.
Well, it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened, but it seems like we're approaching it. It seems like there will be a deadline day stream, but I don't mind it. In terms of like content wise, but in terms of Palace wise, it's like what on earth are we doing talking about transfers on deadline day? But look, people, that's it from us. Take care, and we'll be back maybe tomorrow if there's news. But yeah, up to Palace.